630 to 90 Central.
Here in the IDEX Fire and Safety booth, booth 1608, we're about to commence the extrication demonstration on a new Ford Maverick. But before we begin, I'd like to introduce the HURST Jaws of Life rescue specialist that will be conducting this extrication demonstration. This is sort of our East Coast meets West Coast firefighter team. First, let me introduce New York firefighter-in-chief Anthony Morabito from New York, Rick Rainwater from Washington, and Eric Sanders from California. They will, in this scenario, we have a front seat passenger that has both primary and secondary entrapment. So they're going to need to take that door and do a dash lift. So let's get it started, gentlemen. And about this Ford, apparently this, I misspoke before. It's a 2021 Ford Maverick. This is Ford's new compact truck, but don't let its small size fool you. This vehicle has numerous locations of ultra high strength steel. So let's see this challenge begin. All right, as you can see, Anthony is using the 555 spreader to improve the gap to either compromise that top hinge or to make room for Rick to cut the hinge. They've peeled the front quarter panel in anticipation of a dash lift. They need to expose that front frame member for the cut. So doing this quarter panel first allowed hinge access and front frame access with the first maneuver. You know what, guys, I hate to do this. I got to sneak in. Okay, excuse me, folks. All right, as Rick works on that lower hinge, Anthony's going to come in to compromise the nadir while Eric deploys a good safety practice here, capturing that door with webbing to control its ejection for safety reasons. Again, Anthony's using the new hydraulic 3.0 555 spreader with a 28-inch spread. As you can see, no match. The Ford is no match for that 555. And Anthony's just going to simply remove some obstructions to make that the front frame cut a little easier. So why are we cutting the front frame? Ultimately, in this dash lift scenario, we're going to need a pivot point. We need to separate the dash assembly from the front frame and give a pivot point. As you'll see, Rick is compromising the lower A for an insertion point. But instead of just doing a dash lift or a dash roll, this is going to be a tandem dash lift. We're going to deploy both the ram and the spreader to accomplish this lift. Now, why would we use two tools? Ultra high strength steel dictates that in many instances, this is actually a more assured technique to leverage the strength of both tools. Now, Anthony was giving a prep pinch to make that lower cut a little easier. in terms of diameter. Rick is using the S789 cutter, our mid-weight cutter. We have models that are a little smaller and lighter and a little bigger. So this one's right down the middle. And as you can hear those multiple pops, what that is the fracturing of separate layers of ultra high strength steel. One pop does not mean you're through the post. Now you see Rick's making that relief cut in the front frame. Notice he's making the relief cut behind the strut tower. If this cut is made in front of the strut tower, the maneuver will fail. As you can see, Eric is going to start to deploy the ram to assist in gap creation so Anthony can get that spreader in the lower A gap. And as you can see, working together, essentially the ram helping the spreader and the spreader helping the ram. You know, as you can see, they've now completely broken free the dash assembly bar from the central tie-down strap. And now we've been able to get full extension. Excellent job, gentlemen. Let's hear it for our rescue specialists.
We do it for those who run toward the fire. We do it for those who run toward the shattered cars and the broken buildings, to rescue the exposed and helpless. We do it because they deserve the absolute best. The most reliable tools and equipment that will provide them a reliably safe and successful mission. We owe it to them. We owe it to them to work together. We owe it to them to provide the best customer support we can, and to stand behind our brands and solutions the same way we stand behind the people who put them to use. And we owe it to them to constantly conquer technology, strive for innovation, and move the industry as a whole forward. Because when they are putting their lives on the line, they can't be worried about what's in their hands or flowing through the hose. It must deliver. And that is why we do what we do, and why we owe it to them to get up in the morning. Because if we don't, we fail. And we do not fail. We work tirelessly to make the fireground and rescue scene safer for all.